Hello, I'm Sandro Tabatadze, Assistant Professor from Tbilisi State University, Department of Political Sciences. Today my presentation at this conference is about media Euroscepticism and its manifestation in Georgia. First of all, I would like to briefly say that the concept of Euroscepticism is being and getting mainstream in European politics. One of the most important factors that contribute to make Euroscepticism mainstream lies in gaining importance of Eurosceptic forces and parties around the European Union. Also, electoral success of these kind of parties and these kind of political movements make Euroscepticism one of the most important field of study among European study projects. There are different kinds of manifestations of Euroscepticism, including political elite Euroscepticism, public Euroscepticism, also media Euroscepticism. Media is one of the most important things of liberal democracy, or however you can say that Western democracy as well. Usually there is one of the most important thing to mention that sometimes mass media is used and is seen as the fourth part of government because it checks every important things that is going on within society and government. That's why they are acting like checks and balances in terms of making balance between governance and government and society. The media Euroscepticism is a bit underrepresented term and concept in Eurosceptic literature because this is the word that combines two very important things, media and Euroscepticism as well. First of all, we would like to define this term. The term media Euroscepticism refers to the process that are skeptical attitudes toward European integration or generally toward European Union inside the media, when the media is the key player to articulating Eurosceptic stances, articulating skeptical stances towards European Union and European integration. Media Euroscepticism is a well-known issue in UK studies because during the Brexit it was visible that media and media tabloids, including TV, radio and newspapers, were prominent actors to foster or to reduce the public support of Brexit. After the Brexit, there were dozens of articles regarding to media Euroscepticism in the UK and beyond the UK, including European Union countries. Nowadays, in European Union, we can divide media into three main parts. The first is that media that are totally Eurosceptic and usually they use political stances of Eurosceptic forces, Eurosceptic ideas and so on. There are a lot of newspapers, TV and radio channels, also online media channels that use Eurosceptic approaches well. Another point of view, in other words, there are media that is totally anti-Eurosceptic, or we can say that they are totally pro-European, pro-European Union, and they just usually stand and spread the positions of pro-European forces, and how to say, the government, the organization of this media is totally pro-European, and there is another part of media, including TV, radio and online media that more or less similarly supports pro-European and Eurosceptic forces as well. Usually these media are the model of social responsibility model of media because they just want to mention all of the issues, never mind they are Eurosceptic or not at all. What about the issue we are talking today? It's about media Euroscepticism in Georgia. Georgia is South Caucasus Black Sea country in the far edge of Eastern Europe. It has four neighbors, Russia, Turkey, Armenia and Azerbaijan. Georgia has become the candidate member of European Union in 2023 December, so it's the last and the ninth candidate member of European Union. That's why the issue of Europeanization and Euroscepticism is on our agenda. Despite the fact that most of Georgians, and it's the number of Georgians, the percentage of Georgians who support to integrate in European Union and in Europeanization, it's more than 85%. Still in Georgia there are people and citizens who are against European Union, so they're more or less Eurosceptics. Of course, in Georgia, we have media that express Euroscepticism, but first of all, I would like to stress that the older academic literature suggests that in Georgia there is the media system of party polarization, where our TV, online, radio, and other parts of digital media also are divided into the political party dimensions. Most of them we can just divide two main parts. This is governmental media that express the position of populist government of Georgia who declares to be pro-European, but their stances sometimes and more or less are also a bit pro-Russian as well. And the opposition media that includes totally pro-Western opposition as well, and also pro-Russian opposition as well. In Georgia, I just made my research about the media that express Eurosceptic approaches. What is Euroscepticism in media? It means that it's the systematic skeptical approach toward European integration, Europeanization. In Georgia, I can divide this kind of Eurosceptic media into two main parts. The first is the media that it is controlled directly or indirectly by government. First of all, we would like to say that this is the TV Imedi. This is the private company that is officially affiliated with government, that sometimes, and also after Russia-Ukraine war, this rarely, occasionally manifestation turned into systematic Euroscepticism for TV Imedi. TV Imedi is the TV broadcast, including they have their online media platforms, their radio platforms that nowadays systematically express Eurosceptic attitudes. What are the main narratives that TV Imedi just mentions during their TV broadcast or radio broadcast? The main narrative is that Europe ruins Georgian identity, and in Europe there is a lot of things that will be against our so-called Georgian identity, Georgian tradition, Georgian lifestyle, and so on. It's importantly that TV Imedi is absolutely in line with government's positions. That's why I mentioned earlier that in Georgia, suggested to another scientists who are working about this issue, we have party polarized media system, and TV Imedi and its how to say, its radio and online platform is also including this issue. So this is the one group of Eurosceptic media in Georgia that express positions of Euroscepticism, including political Euroscepticism. Usually TV Imedi and its journalists demonize Western allies, USA and European Union members, that they're against Georgian sovereignty, against Georgian rule of law, against Georgian independent judiciary, and so on, because they're absolutely in line with government's positions. So imagine that this is not a private company, this is the company definitely ruled by government, that also express silky child Euroscepticism and systematic Euroscepticism as well. What about the second group of Eurosceptic media in Georgia? It's totally pro-Russian, and it consists of mostly extra-parliamentary far-right group named Conservative Movement Alt-Info. Alt-Info was developed as the media, first of all, and then they decided to organize a social movement, social group, and then decided to make it political party. Despite the fact that the government decided to refuse to register Alt-Info as the political party, the members and supporters of Alt-Info tried to make this within another framework of another Georgian party. So, interestingly, that Alt-Info has on its TV and also using a lot of online media sources, including YouTube and Facebook bloggers who usually express Eurosceptic positions. I have searched this issue for 2 years, and I can just definitely say that Alt-Info is making this party polarization model as well, because they express their party positions within their TV online media as well, and they use a lot of YouTuber and Facebook bloggers to express Eurosceptic attitudes. Compared to TVE Medi, which has more soft Eurosceptic approach, Alt-Info and their allies in YouTube, Facebook and other social networks, including online media, they use much more harsh Eurosceptic positions, including that Georgia should withdraw its European Union candidacy from the European Union. It stressed the fact that in Europe there is the big problem of maintaining Christianity, including Orthodox Church. They demonize every country that it is against something that they are supported from. For instance, they believe that European Union will collapse very soon, and they express this position very widely. Importantly, that Facebook sometimes controls their posts because they including fake news, and this is one of the most important things, because we know that media in modern populist times is very linked to fake news. Usually Alt-Info and their allies, I mean the second group of Eurosceptic media forces in Georgia, are totally accused of being makers of fake news, and we have evidences from last 2 years that Facebook abolished their 50 posts from Facebook because it was fake news demonizing West and European Union as well. So we can just say that this issue is very important and urgent because it can be seen in three main important issues. My aim was to introduce you very briefly about what's going on in Georgia in terms of media Euroscepticism, and also to stress the fact that in the study of Euroscepticism, media is one of the most important things to be focused on. Also, very important thing is that I used content analysis and thematic analysis to deeply involve in this issue. Also, I conducted 10 in-depth interviews with experts in the fields of Georgian politics, media, sociology as well, to make not to be only on the secondary sources and to get primary data as well. My research questions was about how and why media Euroscepticism is occurred in Georgia, and my results shown that there are two main groups of media Eurosceptics in Georgia, and this issue is getting mainstream. We can explain it with the approach, how to say, media populism framework approach, that usually media, that if in the country it's the media system of party polarization, if the political parties owns their media, usually media works on its owner's party and owner's political stances, and usually media doesn't work as the fourth government, so-called. They don't check and balance information and the system, but they also express the positions of their political elites, of their political owners and patronage, how to say. And very important thing is that this study and this information can arise a new research questions indicating if there is some similarities and differences in other European Union candidate states comparing media Euroscepticism. This is the first issue. The second issue is that is Euroscepticism mainstreaming in Georgia only in media levels, or it's just an expression also and manifestation in political elite, mostly governmental and pro-Russian extra-parliamentary political groups, or also in terms of public Euroscepticism. So the question is, the main question is, media and Eurosceptic media fosters Euroscepticism in political elite and society, or Euroscepticism is already manifested in society and government, and that's why media as the entity and social institution just express these positions, and they don't have their own agenda, political agenda. That's why we can say that further studies can use these results of my conference paper to just make and test my research questions in different directions, use, for instance, the theory of agenda setting, because it's very usual and well-known theory in media studies that are interdisciplinary in media, within media and politics as well, and also use framing and priming models and theories within this research, because during my studies I just mentioned that a lot of priming and framing technologies, how to say, are used within online media, and also to make it fake news. So nowadays, in the era of fake news and in the era of populism all over the continent, it's very important to focus on media in terms of Euroscepticism that will foster interdisciplinarity research in terms of European studies, political science and media.